Hey YouTube, I'm just gonna do a very quick video about a trade that I did with Tom, sort of like an honor trade. We didn't really have like a set group of things that we had agreed upon, except for like maybe one or two items, and then we just kind of threw a bunch of shit in, like to surprise each other or whatever. Because we're friends, we're buddies, it's cool. We have a good rapport here on Facebook. Well, yes, on Facebook as well as on YouTube. I think we've been kind of batting back and forth with comments since back when I first started doing YouTube videos. Just started commenting on each other's videos, and he subscribed to my channel, which I appreciated a lot. And then he deleted his channel, and I kind of missed seeing his content around, and I just kind of did a little bit of snooping of his username, TB46667. I have to clarify, not everybody's going to know who Tom is, but most people who subscribe to me know who I'm talking about. But just for that clarification's sake, sorry, I'm stumbling on my words. Anyway, yeah, I found his Facebook page, and we reconnected that way. And he told me he was going to start doing videos again. And then JCAU99 edited the infamous return of TB46667 video, and the rest is history. You know, Tom's been back ever since, and that's been a good thing. Anyhow, so we had agreed on a couple of things, and I'll get to those in a second. I'm going to show you a couple of little bonus items he tossed in, and not everything, because I simply have not removed them from the box he shipped them in, because I just do not have a place to put this stuff. I left all of my furniture back in Arizona, and I haven't really made any effort to get shelves or any of that shit, because I'm really not happy with where we're living right now. And the next time we move, I really want it to be the very last time that we move, and I just don't want to have a bunch of shit to take with me. I mean, you see, holding up crap to the camera, which might seem very contrary, but I mean, this is all stuff I can stick in boxes, not, you know, big pieces of furniture like a table or a set of shelves. But anyway, he sent me something that you can see in his room tour video. So check out his room tour video to see this item in its complete glory. And you can also Google this thing. It is a McFarlane Toys, I believe, Alien Queen Hive playset. And unfortunately, and very sadly, this actually got broken a bit in the transit, and I have only one piece of it here out that I took from the box to display, or not to display, but to show for the video's sake, and then it's going right back in the box. Right here is the victim that came with the Alien Queen, and this is I think the same woman that you see in the movie. As you can see, she's cocooned in this nice mucusy stuff, and there is a cool feature here. There's a plunger here on the back, and when you depress the plunger, it makes a chest burster appear. Very cool, just like in the movie Aliens. And for some reason her wrist turns. I'm not exactly sure why. And we'll just move this aside. Now here is the part that is sadly the most broken out of all of it, and that is the Queen Alien itself. Here's just the head. This just to show you the size. I mean, look at this thing. The head is as big as this display. It's amazing. The detail on it is really incredible. Now, this thing is astonishing looking. Look at this thing. The way that the head moves and the rubber holds the jaw in place, and it just looks so cool. But this port right here had like a very thin plastic connector that attaches to the body, and that crumbled in transit. I mean, it is not repairable. I would have to glue this onto the body of the alien queen, which is rather large. And this is actually made out of a very soft, pliable rubber. I'm afraid that the super glue would actually eat through this eventually, but I will attempt to fix it when I make a little bit of space for it. And it's a really cool thing, and I really do appreciate this, Tom. It's a great item. It's nice and horrific, and you know how much I am into that type of thing. So yes, that was very thoughtful, and I do appreciate it. And I'm very sorry that this got damaged in transit. If you want me to throw you a few ducats your way to cover the cost of the shipping or whatever, I will. I did try to get a claim from U.S. Postal Service, but I needed to provide proof of what its value was in order to get it to, for them to actually pay some money for the damages, and there was absolutely no way to do it. I couldn't. I tried many times, and it just didn't work. So sorry about that. I really wish this didn't arrive fucked up, but it did. And that is a kind of a hallmark of McFarlane Toys, which makes me think that that's exactly what this is a McFarlane toy and not NECA. But the other piece that broke off was her arm, which was kind of terrible. He also threw in some DC Universe Classics figures, which he knows that I collect. I have slowed down. I used to be like a mega completist about it. This one here, I believe, is Mercury from the Metal Men. I'm not terribly familiar with this faction of characters, but what a fun character this is. He's got big plastic scissors, and the detail on it is really cool. It's mostly unique parts for the most part. It does have this newish double jointed elbow that we're kind of experimenting around with. Typically, these types of figures from the DC Universe Classics line did not have that articulation. That's not a uniform thing that they did. It also has the knees, and they're double jointed, much like Marvel Legend figures are. And I think perhaps this one does. Yeah, this one has a hinged wrist as well, and the next couple of ones do also. So I'll show you those. This one is the Riddler. This is your basic DC Universe Classic figure buck, and this is one that was very much on my want list. So thank you very much, Tom. I would really appreciate you throwing this one in. This figure was such a pain in the ass to find, man. I don't know how you got a hold of such a massive collection of DC-UC stuff, but you really had a great collection. It was kind of sad that you sold it all off, but you gotta do what you gotta do. The detail on this is absolutely fantastic. This is the second Riddler that was done for this line. The first one was a Walmart exclusive, and it was very it wasn't the best representation of Riddler, mainly because they very cheaped out on the paint job on it, and it was the one that had the bowler and the jacket, and the jacket has a necktie, and the necktie goes to Two-Face. You can see the split down the middle of the necktie, and it's used on quite a few figures actually. So anyway, thank you, Tom, for this Riddler figure. This goes very nicely with my Batman figures from the DC Universe Classic series, which I'm kind of mostly focused on collecting for it at this point. And this also had a little piece of Tom's DNA attached to it. I don't know if you knew that, but there was either an eyelash or a piece of your hair on this figure in the bubble wrap. So, haha, I can clone you and have you play video games with me if you want. And the next up is the Creeper, and this one is another one that had a lot of extra articulation on it, which looks pretty good since this is like, a figure that's wearing a leotard, so it doesn't actually kind of make the articulation look stupid. I don't like the double jointed knees and elbows on DC Universe Classics figures, mainly because it doesn't go with the rest of them. They don't all have the same articulation. This guy can barely stand up because of the weight of this massive thing of hair that he's got. But what a great looking figure this is, and it's another nice addition to the Gotham City family here, you know. What a great toy this is. And thank you again for throwing that in. It's just it's a great thing. And then here is the one that I really just had to have, which is Robin. I didn't have a proper Robin. I have the one from Wave 3, which is a more modern version. This is the classic looking Dick Grayson, and it comes with this harpoon, or grappling hook rather, and there's a batarang here that he was with. I'm not exactly sure if this is the one that actually came with the figure, because it doesn't look like the other ones that I know of, but it doesn't matter. Anyhow, this is the problem I have with the double joints, and it's on the bear skin. It makes it look like shit, and it's on the elbows as well. I mean, it's a nice thing that they can make the figures move a little bit better, but it does kind of break up the flow of the figure with these rivets and this funky like elbow and knee thing when it comes to this flesh color. It works with like characters that are armored, and like I showed with Creeper, it works with him because, you know, he's all yellow and stuff, so you can't really see it anyway. But on this Robin figure, it just kind of makes him look shitty. Although this is a fantastic figure, and there was a variation that had a different head, a more modern head, and I chose this one between the two because I wanted the classic one to go with my Batman set. I may track down the other one, but that Robin figure is actually like fucking ridiculously expensive. Okay, so I had no, there was a post that Tom had made on Facebook about a limited run games sale that was on for a video game called Next Machina. Now here it is, and I was not going to be awake when this sale was going on, and I asked Tom if he would mind trying to stop in on that sale and grab it for me, and I would reimburse him for it. And he did manage to get another copy, and he just said that to consider it a Christmas gift, which I very much appreciate, Tom. Thank you very much. And this game is fucking amazing. If you like Smash TV, this is a lot like that. It's a twin stick shooter. It's top down. It's really frenetic, very fast paced, very Twitch gaming, very arcade style. It's just an incredible game, made by the guys that did Resogun and I think Super Stardust, perhaps? I'm not sure. You'd have to school me on that. I don't know. I'm not well versed on publishers and developers anymore because I just don't keep up with that stuff anymore. Now, I sent Tom something in a trade, which was the Freddy's Nightmares Complete Series. It was a bootleg. He showed that in the video that he put up. And I traded that for this copy of Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap, the Dragon's Trap, which is a game that I absolutely love. I've been a big fan of this game for a very long time. The very first time I played this was on the TurboGrafx, which was called Dragon's Curse, and I loved it. I loved it so much, and then I started to collect video games at some point shortly after that. My friend Lewis and I went ape shit buying Master System games, and we managed to get almost a complete U.S. collection of Master System games in about a month and a half. And I mean, it was a lot of fun. We went to the swap meet every week. We went out almost every day to Bookman's and to a couple of, to one pawn shop. it was called Americana, and they had Master System games, and we found a couple copies of Phantasy Star and East Vanished Omens, just a bunch of stuff that you don't see typically every day. Psycho Fox, all kinds of stuff. And I got Wonder Boy 3 while we were hunting these games down, and I did a lot of comparing and contrasting with the TurboGrafx version. They're so great. Both versions are so cool and unique, and this one is awesome because it gives you a classic version, but you also have the option to play it with modernized, very cool looking. This is what the game basically looks like. It looks like a cartoon. It looks amazing, and I love the way that they did the packaging on this. Make it look just like a vintage Master System game. In fact, the inside of the manual shows a Master System right there. Tells you how to insert the cartridge into it, and it's great. I love it. This is such a cool thing. Thank you for trading this with me, Tom. I really, really appreciate this. This is one of my favorite games of all time. And then he threw in this copy of Night Trap, which I haven't played yet, but I have a friend that's like a pretty intense gamer, and he had a Sega CD back when it first came out. I think he got it pretty much on day one, and he went out and he bought Night Trap the day that he had the money to go get it, and he he took it right back to Software Etc. because at that point in time you could just return shit without any questions asked. I think you still can at GameStop, perhaps, for 7 days. If you just dislike something, you can return it. But anyway, yeah, he hated that game and he took it back. I've never played it. This is notoriously silly, and I love the copy that here is on the back of the box that says it. The tech on display will make your PlayStation 4 scream. It's great that they are making fun of the limitations of the old CD-ROM hardware from the early 90s, 92, 93. Now this next one is a bit of an anomaly. I am not sure what this comes from, so please school me, Tom, or anybody else. This is a Blu-ray disc, a bonus disc of some sort for BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. I have most of the BlazBlue games on the PS3, and I'm guessing that this is, I don't know what it is. It's like it's not a cartoon. It's 3 discs. I'm not sure if there's a soundtrack or what. Is this maybe this is one that is a soundtrack CD, and then the other ones are like Blu-rays, or one of them is a Blu-ray. I tried to play this on the PS4, and I could not move past the menus. It wouldn't do anything. So I don't know what this is. Is it from like a collector's edition or some shit? Anyway, thank you for that inclusion there. It's a pretty cool thing. And then he threw this in. This is The Hitchhiker. It was an old TV show that I never did see before. It was on HBO. I didn't have HBO at the time. I do remember seeing advertisements for this. It was an anthology series, and as you can see on the cover here, it has a lot of guest stars that are all very famous. In fact, we just lost one of them today, which was kind of sad. She was in a number of cool horror movies, Sisters, Black Christmas, Amityville Horror, just to name a couple. Actually, that was pretty much them, but anyway, I have not watched this yet, but thank you very much for throwing this in. It's very cool and thoughtful of you, and that is that. And sorry about the shitty camera work here, that it's running about 19 minutes long. So thank you for watching, and I'll do another pickup video here very soon. And you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.